Hello, everybody. My name is Circus Games, and welcome to my little review for the second episode of The Amazing Digital Circus. Yes, I know that my review went up a few days ago, but I don't upload on the weekends, except for the fact that I uploaded that video on Saturday, but I wanted to get it out there. So here will be the Monday video of this week, and that's my review of The Amazing Digital Circus, episode 2. Let's just start off by the fact that this episode was great. One thing that usually is very worrisome with indie projects, especially indie animated projects, is you can spend a lot of time, years, in fact, crafting the first episode, right? I mean, we saw this with even something like Has Been Hotel, or even, oh my gosh, what was I'm trying to think of some other ones, but I'm blanking right now. Where you see that a lot of work was put into them for years, and then episode 2 comes out, and, well, I do enjoy the Has Been Hotel series. There are a lot of people out there that have found faults in it, and it just doesn't live up to it, or so on and so forth, right? And I can firmly say that myself, my own opinion, I really do enjoy this second episode. It really delivered on a lot of the ideas that were presented in episode 1, but also doesn't feel like it's just trying to jump ship and get right into things, right? So, first and foremost, we are sent with Kane into a brand new adventure into the Candyland inspired kingdom of candy people, and that kind of gives us an idea of what will be happening throughout the rest of the series, or at least the first bits of the first season. And that is, each episode will be a new adventure. It will be Kane putting them into a situation, and they start to find out more and more of what's going on, with the big idea at the very end of the season being escaping or finding out more or stopping Kane or so on. And this episode was really great about that. It really, really was. I enjoy the characterization of a lot of these characters. I like how, for the first part I want to talk about, is that Jax is an asshole. He is mean. He is not a Tumblr sexy man mean, kind of charismatic asshole, but kind of still caring and compassionate. No, he's just straight up an asshole. I like that. I like the fact that he is not a good dude. Because that opens up a lot of stuff for character development. Because maybe he is a good guy, but he's been trapped in this digital hell for so long that he puts on this veneer and a mask to hide that. Or he just is not a good dude, and he's going to be kind of like a secondary antagonist throughout the entire thing that's basically acting like a roadblock, and that could come to be a obstacle later in the season or series for the rest of the group to handle and deal with. Then there's Ragatha. I really enjoyed Ragatha. Ragatha had bits and pieces throughout the first episode that made you think that she was going to be pretty important. Now, personally, I thought that they were all going to be important, right? I thought that they were all going to be very important and like have their own moments, right? They would all have their own episodes. They would all have the spotlight and so on, because it is a very small cast. So you have the opportunity to always put them in the spotlight and characterize them. But one of the ones that I didn't think would be one of the big spotlight people was going to be Ragatha. I thought the Ragatha was going to be into the a little bit in the background, while maybe someone like Zubul and Kinger were more of the front runners with Pomni. But I'm glad that that's really not true, because in this episode it really puts emphasis on the fact that Ragatha is really the only other sane one there. Like, Zubul and, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting her name. The one made of ribbons, right? She is a little too switch between happy and sad a lot of the times, and she has her own weird shit going on with her. So, you can only do so much or like, in that scenario, you can only trust her so much before she switches. Kinger is Kinger. Zubul is way too much of a fatalist to really be reliable, at least at this point in the series. But Ragatha is just a homegirl, right? Being the gayest gal on the entire season, or on the entire episode. And I like that. I like that fact about her. Even if it's not canon, you can clearly see some coding in there, and that's really fun. Really fun to see. She had a lot of great moments too throughout the episode. Zubul was not in this. They were not in there at all. They were only in the first few episodes before being like, no, I don't want to do it, and just leaving. Which makes me wonder what they were doing during that entire adventure. Like, if they were maybe looking into abstraction, or just exploring, trying to find an exit, or if they were the one doing shit with Kaufmo's funeral, and so on. Oh my gosh, oh man, I wish that I remembered her name, but yeah, Ribbons was also really good throughout this episode. She was the driver during this heist, so she got a lot of really good moments. And the funniest moments was when Jax was telling her about how he would tell Ragatha about the figurine thing, and she just starts hysterically laughing and rams the truck into the side of the other truck. I thought that was really funny, because you can clearly see the inspiration with her character is the fact of being like a Fujoshi, of being one of those fangirls. And I love that, because obviously, ironically, and unfortunately, there's a lot of fans out there for the Amazing Digital Circus, which are just like her. Then we have Kinger. Kinger was great. I enjoy Kinger. He is probably my favorite character so far throughout the series. He is just so wild. I love how he has these moments of clarity, and lucidity, and like just offers up literal poetry, and then goes straight back to craziness. I love those kinds of characters. I don't think he will be the first one in the main group to abstract, because it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel that that's what will happen. I have an idea that probably during this first season, there will be another character introduced into the main group to balance out, or maybe one of them abstracts and then a new one is brought in, because we can kind of see that that's potentially what's happening with why Pomni was there. Pomni was introduced because Kane knew that Kaufmo was going to abstract. And then speaking of Pomni was superb this episode. She's my second favorite character in this, because she's our main character, and having her really tussle and not just be this fearful, like Kobeni character is really great to see. Like, yeah, it makes sense that she's fucking afraid all the time because of all the crazy shit that she's in, and she's still reeling with the fact that she's in a digital hell, but I feel like that's only the surface of her, right? And we're seeing bits of more of what that character is below the surface, with like the talks with the gummy alligator, and finding out like they're out of bounds and at the reference point of models and everything like that, beneath the map, and the whole talk with her and the alligator cowboy, the Australian alligator gummy bear cowboy, is really, really touching. And I really enjoy how they were able to nail home, Gooseworks and the rest of Glitch were able to really nail home the theme of existentialism, of finding out that about your world in only like, what was it, like maybe 7 minutes? It was superbly done. And then obviously we get to the end of the episode. Well, okay, first I want to talk about the mud monster, or the chocolate monster. The chocolate monster is really funny. There's two different plot lines in this episode, and that is with the through line of Pomni, with where Pomni's going, and then the other one is where the rest of them with the syrup truck thing is going. And then obviously they meet back up, and Pomni's like, well, just come back with us, and you can live with us. And obviously the gummy cowboy was like, yeah, I think that'll be nice. There's a heartfelt goodbye, and portal opens, walk in, snap, he's fucking dead. Kane killed the fuck out of him. And that leads me to what I want to talk about with Kane. Kane seems like a character that is either maliciously incompetent or he is not as stupid as he seems, right? He brought them there, right? He is the reason why they are there. So him being this kind of nice guy, but just kind of silly, doesn't really make sense whenever he says that he is making these AIs. He is creating these worlds. We see that some of them, we see that the Candy Kingdom, not Finn and Jake's Candy Kingdom, but the Lollipop Princess Candy Kingdom worships him like a god. And he chooses how these are represented. So he chose to be represented as a god. Which makes me wonder, what the fuck is going on with Cain? Obviously, his name is spelled Cain. And that's a reference to the biblical Cain and Abel. Where's his Abel? Did he kill his Abel? Or so on? Or is Bubble his Abel? Or, what's the story going on here? There is so much deeper, Allied Master Computer AM shit going on right here. I have no mouth, and I must scream. Yeah, I got the title wrong last episode, but yeah, this is clearly going to go in some horror directions, and I cannot wait for that. And we see that comedy, and then out of the map, boom, it's fucking wild. And then we're hit again with Pomni almost having a mental breakdown at the very end again. And then Kaufmo's, funeral and everything like that. The episode, just ends as a solo, self-contained story. And I like that. And it makes me wonder where and how the rest of the series is going to go and how it's going to pick up from here. I'm very hopeful for this, because I've enjoyed both episodes. I've enjoyed the direction, the acting, the art. Oh my god, the art is astoundingly good this time around. It feels like some of these guys have normal maps on them, or better texture maps on them than they did last time, which might be the case, or I just wasn't paying attention last time, because it does seem like some of their models were buffed up, which is cool to see. It makes me wonder if they'll be changing over the course of the season. But yeah, other than that, I am super hopeful for this season of the series. I've talked about very much how if I don't like something, I don't like it. I will say that I do not like something. I will say if something fucking sucks, it fucking sucks. That's why I was so open about the parts of Hazbin Hotel that I didn't like. But if I do like something, I'll say that I like it. So yeah, let me know down in the comments what you thought of episode 2 of the Amazing Digital Circus. What are you expecting? Do you have any theories? I have my own theories, as I've already kind of said in this video and in the last video. Let me know down there. And if you're excited for episode 3, let me know down below. I have waited for a few episode 3s. A Half-Life. So I know what it's like to wait for a final or an episode 3. And maybe it is delivered, maybe it's not. But other than that, thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified if you want to be notified. I don't want to bog up your inbox. And if you want to support me, do those. But I also have a Cash App down below. Any amount will do. Any amount helps. But as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.